Should Elon Musk stay as the CEO of Tesla? I know a lot of people get really pissed off when anybody even asks that question, but now there's some interesting news coming from the second largest investor, only second to Elon Musk, that they may not just be that bad of an idea. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about positives and negatives that can come out of it if it actually becomes a reality. So yeah, let's talk about it coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric!
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. And if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so you don't miss anything moving forward. But most importantly, become a part of this community. It's red, it's free, and you click on it right now. It might change your life. All right, definitely changed mine actually now that I think about it. I was making a joke, but actually no. So, all right, so interesting thing that came out today, and I know a lot of people are just kind of get really upset, especially Tesla fanboys. It's like, you know, this is impossible, this is stupid, and all that stuff, and it might be. So let's discuss it. But there is news, and you know, a messenger right here, Bailey Gifford. This is pretty much the largest investor in Tesla besides Elon Musk. They own 7.7% of the company. You know, in one of the interviews, the guy said this. James Anderson, who represents the company, he said we wouldn't be against him having a different role. I don't think he needs to be the CEO. That is very interesting coming from that investor, because obviously they realize that this is, you know, once it hits public, that can change the stock. Now, another interesting quote from that interview, actually, I think this is from a different interview, but the same guy, James Anderson, he said, we need to differentiate the company from him. And I'm wondering, you know, and feel free to comment even right now as you're watching this video, do you guys think it's a good thing or a bad thing that Elon Musk and Tesla is essentially the same thing, right? Just like Steve Jobs and Apple was essentially the same thing, because, you know, when Steve Jobs passed away, Apple was never really the same, right? Kind of stopped innovating because it was like 2-in-1. So is this a good idea to have Elon be that part of the company, really? Because think about it, he's also CEO of SpaceX and a Boring company, and he doesn't really participate, I guess, at least publicly, as much in those companies as he does with Tesla. And they're doing fine, if you ask me, right? Now, of course, we know there's a lot of things going on right now. SEC is after him once again, and I have a completely separate videos explaining why they're after him. People think it's because of those two tweets. It actually is not. So watch that video. Now, of course, SpaceX is having some issues of getting approved for some, I believe, grants or contracts because of this. Exactly not the image that people, you know, want to see. This is a picture that I took of him myself when I was, you know, at the Boring event a couple of months ago. And as you know, there's also a new chairman, Robin Denholm, who was put in place of Elon Musk. And, you know, Tesla did not crash. So it is basically possible. Now what people are saying, and you know, let's just have a kind of a serious conversation about it. And I guess what the Bailey Gifford is saying is that, you know, it looks like all of the issues and trouble and problems, they'll come from his role as the CEO. But he's so good in innovation and really being a front man as well, and being the leader of this community. So people are wondering, and to be honest with you, myself, I don't really know if I even have a definite answer for you guys. But, you know, what if he just becomes the front man and innovator and just concentrates on it, and doesn't have to be bogged down by being the CEO, being on earnings call and so forth? Like, I'm not really sure if he even likes doing that. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he hates doing that. So it's, you know, it is definitely something that is not outside of the sort of reasonable assumptions. Now, by the way, the stock. And before I go any further, by the way, let me remind you that this video and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. And their CEO is doing just fine. As a matter of fact, he told me to give you guys the discount code. And you can grab it from the description of this video. That way you can save yourself a few bucks. All right. Now, Tesla stock. Now, from the Model 3 $35,000 version announcement, over there, as you can see, it fell almost 13% to this point in just a few days. this is probably something that concerns investors. And by the way, let me tell you, I hope you agree that just what's good for investors is not necessarily good for the customers, right? As a matter of fact, a lot of times it's opposite. I think this is the reason why Elon wanted, or at least had an idea of taking a company public. I think somebody just asked me another day, well, do you think it's a good idea for a company to go private? Well, it depends. For investors, maybe not. But for the customers, absolutely, it's a great idea. So, by the way, here's another thing just happened recently. Again, maybe if he wasn't CEO, this wouldn't been happening. But I guess people got upset with him for having this press call. And as a matter of fact, I'll read it. It says, why was there a press call about the $35,000 Model 3 that was closed to the public and shareholders with no transcript released? Super frustrating for long-term supporters. Completely goes against democratization of information and financial markets. And Elon replied, Tesla communications and fixing. That was a mistake. You know, it, by the way, press only is also very vague because I have never received a press pass from Tesla, and yet I received the press passes from pretty much every other manufacturer and event that I wanted to attend. And once again, I applied for the Model Y unveiling press pass and haven't even received a response. So press is very, is very vague term here. But yeah, so that's another thing that people are talking about, and it is getting old, and maybe if he just concentrates on just maybe more positive things and less SEO-ish things, things actually will be looking up for the brand. All right, well, let's talk about positives and negatives of what if Elon was to move away from the role of CEO and become sort of a frontman. As a matter of fact, they're saying he should be chief ideologue, whatever that means. All right, let's talk about that. All right, so there are positives to it, and I actually think, again, I'm 50-50 on that, but the positive is this. The stock price and overall company's health, I think, will be better without the gaffes. I'm sure even if you're a huge Tesla fanboy, you still understand all of these gaffes of, 420, accusing innocent people of being pedophiles, having this, secret press calls and hanging up on analysts during earnings call. All of this is just negative stuff, right? And he does all of this sort of as a CEO of the company. If he was to concentrate about like exciting announcements, exciting technologies, the self-driving technologies and so forth, like he does with SpaceX, I think the whole narrative of Tesla will be positive again, rather than negative as it is right now as a media. Whether you think it's fair or not, it is what it is. It's mainly negative now. So I think the positive is going to be that. Also, I think the positive could be is that the new CEO will be able to actually maybe guide this much bigger company. Elon never ran a huge company like this, really, if you think about it. There are some things that a new CEO, maybe more conservative CEO, can navigate better than Elon. And I think also what will help him is having their maybe own PR department or a company, because they can also help Elon to kind of have a strategy, right? The strategy with how to roll out features and how to roll out announcements. Obviously, the new CEO can also control the fact that, for example, pricing is all over the place right now. And I think it's becoming the main story over the exciting story of the $35,000 car being out there. Now, of course, negatives, I probably don't even need to tell you guys, but yes, obviously people relate Elon Musk to Tesla, and without Elon Musk, Tesla may not be as big or exciting a brand as it would be otherwise. Now, by the way, when people talk about Elon not being CEO anymore, people are not talking about just having him completely quit Tesla. As a matter of fact, they're talking about having him do more positive front-end man, showman kind of a stuff. So, but nevertheless, who knows? Maybe the pace and the rate of innovation that he was able to accomplish as the CEO would not be as grand as it used to be, which on the other hand, may not be such a bad thing, because the company is a big company right now, giant company, and it's all about execution and maybe not as much of innovation anymore. So that can be. Now listen, like I said, I'm 50-50 on that. I'm looking forward to the comments in the comment section. So maybe I can, maybe you can persuade me one way or another. Of course, I want to do a quick shout out to one of my newer Patreons, Luca Villa. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon. Thank you to all of my Patreons for supporting and contributing to this independent YouTube channel. And that's the only place where you can also watch me live as one of the bigger benefits that I have for you guys. So thank you so much. You can go to the description of this video and grab a link and become a part of my community there. All right, looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.